Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of my Ascension messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I will be your guide for today. So today we are going to do a bit of fun with tarot. I am always focused on the energies at the moment and how they can help us ascend and into where we really want to go, right? So don't forget, I do lives also on Thursday, which are channel messages. But today we will do a bit of tarot and channel. Now, even though I'm shuffling the cards straight off, it feels a really gentle feeling at the moment. But I did get this message that we were like pouring through some more of our soul, bringing in more of our soul the last week or so, which is really integrating what we love about ourselves, how we want to move through this world, like honoring and respecting ourselves and loving who we are. And that literally grounds more of our soul, or clears the path to connect to our soul. Let's put it that way, because we are our soul. But after that happens, sometimes there's this vulnerable movement that happens with us because we're now loving everything so much more about who we are, and we aren't reflected because we're still in the in-between worlds and we're not reflected by our outside world of what our soul is really purely desiring. So there can be sometimes where we, excuse my voice, falter a bit, where we start to go back into pushing against the world again. And that push can sometimes make us go into a place where we feel we have to fight for what we want in our life again. And then we're going full circle back into the old patterns, instead of bringing ourselves back to our self-awareness and going, at this very moment, what do I feel like? Who am I? How do I feel about myself? And keep bringing ourselves back into that moment, even though the outside world isn't reflecting it quite in this minute. When you keep doing that, even though it feels vulnerable, it will slowly change, because the outside reality is, like I have already brought up, that slow momentum that's already pulled into action, that keeps on going towards a certain goal because of what you had thought of before, and that kind of comes into your outside world and it's already there, or it's already coming towards you. And then you're like, okay, I'm shifting it up. I'm going this way. I'm going towards what I really love about myself. And when you start to take that power back, all of a sudden you are lightening your load, you're shifting your train. But when you shift your train from the inside out, you on the inside feels, you know now who you are, where you're going, but the outside world is still to catch up a bit. And there can be a vulnerable position there. So I'm feeling in this next even month, or probably month, that there might be these little moments of transition where we're refreshing our ability to move inside us, or move back into who we are and loving who we are, whenever we feel that pull of anxiety again. Okay, I don't like that mind busyness of anxiety bringing me in an outcome that I don't like. Take a deep breath, keep bringing yourself back into, what do I really desire? What do I really want in this moment? How do I want to proceed in this world, be seen by myself in this world, not by the outside world, not by what anyone else thinks about you. That is their reality, and you don't want to go into their reality. So there's going to be this, through this next month, this kind of transition. And we will get used to it, and then we are seeing it on the outside world, the gifts coming back in again. And then we go back to, okay, now we're stepping it up again. I'm bringing my soul through more. I'm loving myself even more going towards what I really want. I have that really big thing that I'm going for, and I'm going to keep reminding myself that's my end goal. And then you will go through this transition of feeling into it in the inside, and then and then the outside's not reflecting quite yet, and then we hold it. We kind of have to hold it, and it is a vulnerable time sometimes. I'm feeling that at the moment, and no matter what part of the path that I've just explained you're on, there is energies that are helping guide us at the moment that are coming through. I always see them coming through, at the center of the galaxy, the suns and all the stars and everything, that like the light that shone on us is shifting up the energy coming through on us. And then that is what we are responding to as well. So humanity's consciousness is slowly starting to come back to self-love, and it's a whole new perspective. It's a whole new advantage point on how we actually see and navigate through our world. It's totally different than what we were doing before, where we were only asking the outside world to tell us how good we are. We're no longer looking at that anymore. We're taking back the reins to how we're feeling ourselves, and really respecting and honoring that. So we'll get into the cards now anyway. That was something that I had to pull through at the beginning. And on Thursday, I have I don't even have my phone with me. Sometimes I bring in some channel messages from my phone, but Thursday I have a mountain of channel messages. I'll probably make another video out of that because some of them are coming through the Cyanians. So I introduced the Cyanians this week, and that was through all these crazy synchronicities that was happening around me after I'd asked for clarity on who I'm actually channeling. And then, it was just crazy synchronicities. And I also have to shout out a big, huge thank you to Honey Golden for sharing one of my videos, which is the video that made me realize, OMG, these are the beings that I have been channeling for a very long time. And the name was given to me by them reminding me of a dream that I'd had many years ago of meeting the elder that I actually physically have met in Ohio. And in my dream, I met her. And I said, I'm not going to be working with you because I'm going to do my own thing. And then she came up to me and said, you'll be working with the Cyanians. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know who they are. And then I realized cyan is actually the color blue, which then it's like this ding ding moment. Oh my God, the blue beings that I've already seen giving me messages anyway. And like literally vivid dreams and everything. I'm like, hello, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm channeling through. So they are beautiful beings that are very close to source energy and oneness. And they understand that we are one. And so whenever I channel, that's why I feel like, is it me? Is it them? It's because we are one. And that's the feeling that they give me. So, but I can definitely feel there's this new energy come through when I do channel, obviously. But it does feel like sometimes, where's it? I always ask, where's this coming from? Because I want to give a very clear indication to you guys where all of these messages are coming from, and they want to as well. They want to step forward and introduce themselves. So then the next video I did was introducing them. Anyway, go take a look at those videos if you haven't seen them yet. But thank you very much to Honey Golden, because she actually helped me get clarity on the fact that they are the ones that I have been already navigating through and channeling through. Okay, let's get into the tarot. Hey, Black Diamond. Hey, Cherie. Hi, Sarah. And Sarah, two Sarahs, or a Sarah and a Sarah. Hey, Lena. Good to see you. Let's go. Energies for this week, please, or in the coming month. No. Let's go this week. Energies for this week, please. And I'm feeling really like gentle, like they're saying, be gentle on the South. the more you feel gentle with yourself, because as I'm shuffling the cards, it's what it feels like, this gentle shuffling. The more you feel gentle on yourself, the more strength, the more power you actually have. It's like everything's going to be turned upside down for us, where we realize the power actually comes with us being more gentle, more calm, more humble. And that is power, because we're not ones that have to be the overexerting people that are showing to the, showing the world, look at me, look at me, look at me, because I need you to validate me. You're already validated yourself, and so you're coming back into your power. Okay, so we've got one card that has fallen out. Let's see what else is happening as well. I don't want to force anything to happen, but I feel like that card wants to come out too. Interesting that they're coming out. Have I got them upside down? Yes, I do. Okay, that's why. Coming out in reverse. If this one comes out in reverse, it's so supposed to, because I just turned them back the right way. There we go. We've got a few that's come out now. Okay, look at that, reversed. And reversed. And reversed. I'm going to turn them all up the other way. I don't know why. I'm feeling like the reverse. I'm just going to give an overall message for the reverse feeling that we're getting here at the moment. That is just generally because of what I spoke about before, where the next movement that we're doing, we're needing to navigate the vulnerability of ourselves to move ourselves forward and bring in more love and say to ourselves, I love myself enough to be able to be gentle on myself and be gentle on the outside world, instead of having that friction of, but it's not moving fast enough, and why aren't you doing this, and why aren't you doing that? And I know I've been through it myself. I'm going through all this as well, guys. So I totally have and understand or comprehend where this is. And that's what my soul wanted to do. My soul wanted to go through it with everybody so that I could give you guys more clarity too. But I do have an end result of where I know I'm going, because I've been there before as well. So let's pull these cards out. Interesting. The world came out in reverse to begin with. Now I'm going to bring them all up right though. Okay. But they wanted the Page of Pentacles to go in front of the world. So the world is, to me, look at that. It's like a cycle, and ending one and starting another. But now we've got, even though the man looks dominant here, and the head of the female is just kind of propped on the side of this person, it's supposed to be a figure of both coming into unison within ourselves of who we are, and navigating our world through the power of the feminine and the masculine within ourselves. In other words, outside world, and meeting up with the love of the inside love that we have for ourselves. But the world card in itself is like a whole new, it's like a new beginning, but it's, to me, I'm starting to feel like it's like a collective feeling of humanity's consciousness having an opening that's coming our way for all this to happen. It's like some of us are understanding it and taking the reins, and watching things that will even open us more to becoming more self-aware of who we are and how we're navigating this world. And then others we can see in the shadows, or a family that don't want anything to do with it over there. They are not quite getting it yet. But we weren't all supposed to come together. Otherwise, there's no point in having guides with, to have a dramatic shift where all of humanity's consciousness just, went boom into loving themselves so much and navigating the world from the inside out, would be such a drastic shift, that that it would be too much for us to be able to handle. So just like we as guides, or the first ones that are starting to do this really in-depth work, are doing it in steps and increments, and slowly moving towards it, and slowly feeling into what we used to do, and then bringing it back. We are, just like that's happening, the whole of humanity's consciousness is going to go through their steps. Some are going to go up, and some are going to follow, and then others will follow, and so forth. So the Page of Pentacles is like something to me fresh, something new coming in abundance wise. So when you're doing this inner work of bringing yourself together and moving towards your goals in unity, and seeing where it feels anxious and icky or depressed or whatever that you have within yourself that doesn't match your soul, you're starting to say, well, that this is a new beginning. It's okay to feel this way, but I'm not going to sit in it anymore. I'm going to navigate past it, and I'm going to bring in the abundance that he's holding through my own self-awareness now. But it's a new beginning, so be gentle on ourselves as we walk through this. We might have done it before a little bit, but we're bringing in more, and that sort of thing. So the soul really wants us to confirm to us that it is worthy of being heard, and the soul is just love. So the more that we love who we are, the more that the soul has this clarity and connection to be able to bring through even more gifts. But if we've got an over exaggerated mind, monkey mind, that we have been living in and we've been programmed to do, then we cannot hear the soul, we cannot feel the soul, we cannot feel these new gifts coming in, the premonitions, the ability to know that I'm going around to the right path, the ability to be able to trust ourselves, which means we trust others. All of that is being overshadowed by a monkey mind going, oh, what about this? You're going to have to overprotect yourself. You're going to have to make sure that you don't go there and do this. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And make sure you say this. And and so it's overshadowing this beautiful, soft, feminine, receptive energy that has a lot more to gift us in the end, because it's coming straight through the understanding that we as a soul, as love, means that we have to navigate through this world as love, and no more trying to overexert, push against, because every time you push against something, it pushes back, and that's all you're going to ever get. So we have the Three of Wands next. And I'm really looking at this king giving his crown, like he's a mature man, and he's handing it over to somebody else that's holding these three wands, that's done a lot of work, a lot of action. And it's like, okay, I did my part to bring us into this reality, into this next step. But now, as a true leader, I kneel before the ones that are coming up the ranks, and I hand them my crown so that they can become the next leader. Because if I hold on to this crown, I'm not in the right energy for the next movement. I don't know all of the next answers where this new person does. So I'm feeling that with us. Like, there's some people that have been waiting and doing all the work, and the energy is shifted enough for you to now become more, and take the leadership roles in your what you've learned, and those that were before you were holding that energy of being a guide or a leader or whatever, because it was relevant for them to do that, because the energies were relevant for their mind and how they worked and how they navigated. So the logical ones being in charge, and now I'm really feeling that it's time for them to step down and kneel down in front of these the new ones that are coming up, and hand over the reins to these new people. But he's got a bit of a worried look on his face. To me, there'd be a bit of vulnerability and, okay, do I take this? But the thing is, if you are handed, if source energy, God, whatever you want to call it, prime creator, hands you an opportunity, are you going to take it and say, yes, it's handed to me for a reason? It wouldn't be in my reality and be handed to me unless There's something in my soul that knows I can handle this, and this is where I'm supposed to go. So there's still this vulnerability of actually taking that crown. Otherwise, that guy will just turn around. Oh, you don't want it? You don't want the crown? Okay, well, you keep holding on to doing all the work and being the worker, and I'll put the crown back on my head again. And you're going, oh, but the way you lead is not the right way. That I've got all this wisdom that I can share. Well, you had your chance to grab. So this is what we're doing. We're trying to we're waking ourselves up to stepping forward when we do have something to gift to the world. And there's that world again. We're being the vulnerable person to gift it to the world too. And here we have, after the Three of Wands, we have the King of Pentacles. Look, now you're sitting pretty. You're the one that's mature. You're the one that holds the pentacle. That Page of Pentacles was going, oh, am I? Can I? Will I? And now you've got it, and now you're sitting and you're like, okay, he's still got a little worried look on his face, though. I don't know why they keep bringing that up. So there is some concern here as to whether you can handle this new position that you're wanting, your soul yearns for. But there is like a feeling of, oh, am I really ready for this feeling? Anyway, interesting. So I'm really feeling, though, that this is where we're going. We're going towards a new beginning. So what happens for a new beginning, especially humanity's consciousness and the overall of the world, is we need a shift of those that have been in charge and new people coming up, new decisions being made, new perspectives, new everything. And after that card came out the Seven of Pentacles. So if I'm going to say a story that brings in all three of these together, we then have, after he's sitting there, to make him feel a lot more proud or better about taking this crown and being who he is, he has to listen to the intuitive side that also has the ability to bring in new gifts and ground those gifts onto this world. So grounding totally different gifts. When we're talking, to me, we're talking telepathy and premonitions and all of that comes from the feminine side, but grounding them so that we can use them in our day-to-day reality, and appreciating the fact that we can see beyond the limited program that this king was holding before. So I'm feeling the story just developing. And so there's going to be definitely, with these cards that I'm seeing, definite gifts coming our way. But as they come, as somebody brings them up to us, are we going to, just go, okay, I need to take that because it's there. There's a reason why that I can actually handle that power. I know I can handle. I've been asking for it. So let's just do it. Let's just take it and see where it goes. Okay. And that's why I think they told me to title it the soul. I think it was the soul just, I forgot what it was. The soul wants you to deserve it. Or something. I forgot what I actually called this. In any case, but it's to do with the soul being heard, the soul being saying that, it being love within ourselves, that it actually has some huge gift to give us, and it's not until we accept that. But in accepting a big gift is accepting responsibility of the gift as well. And I think that's what a lot of people are denying themselves, just on a normal basis, just in a normal, day-to-day person moving through their life. We deny ourselves what we really, truly want because we realize there's power that comes with it. And we're afraid of our light more than we're afraid of what we're used to. But to shift something, if we want this world to shift, someone has to take these plunges into trying something different and to becoming more authentically them, and instead of trying to get the rest of the world to say that they're fantastic or whatever. Anyway, let's see what else these other cards have as well. Hey, Leanne. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Christina. Good to see you guys. Okay, I'll see what Osho has to say. So we have the burden in reverse, another reverse. Every single card has been in reverse. How bizarre is that? But the burden in reverse is finally letting go of the fact that you don't have to hold the rest of the world up on your shoulders while you're taking the load and feeling like you're the one doing all of the work. You can actually stand up now and say, I'm going to take that my unique abilities and no longer carry everything or everybody else on my back, and allow them to just fall away. So, you know how they're just bringing me to the fact that, like, if we're really empathic, we really feel into, we can really feel into people, and we're like, I know who you are and what you want, so I'll become for you what you want me to become, because I can do that. But it kind of makes you feel like you're carrying the weight of their world on your shoulders and you're not being you. And this is a time for you to go, I see what you want, but I can trump that. I can become the king or the master of my life and show you even a different path, show you something that's even better. So it might be that at the beginning it feels like, we're at odds with each other. But I'm going to take my power back, because I'm going to trust who I am and support who I am, and I'm going to move myself forward, and then show you that this is actually a better path. I do have something to give, and not just be the walkover that I have been, or the people pleaser that I have been in the past. Let's see what else comes up. So we have stress in reverse. And so that's really letting go of all the stories that you've had. Like, stress comes from, oh my God, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this. Drop all the balls. Here's the monkey mind, right? I'm going to pop that balloon unless you can hold up all of these. But even if he pops the balloon or he doesn't pop the balloon, you're still stressed up here. You're still trying to navigate through all of your mind crap. So this is the card of let go of all the stories, put them down on the ground and say to yourself, I am taking the reins to myself. And what I love about me means that I'll pick up one ball at a time and be 100% with it. One story at a time and be 100%. And I know that when I feel to put that ball down, I will put that story or that ball, whatever you want to call it, that thought down, that action down, and I'm going to pick up another one. And I know I'm going to navigate through my life just by how I feel from the love of myself. This is the difference that we're making. Instead of being that man that's just, oh my God, I got to think of everything all at the same time, just in case one of them goes out of kilter and I have to try to catch it. Oh my God. And so you're just stressed constantly. We're letting go of all the stories in our head, and we're just taking a deep breath and going, I know I'm going to be there 100% with whatever story I bring up. And as soon as I feel that I'm feeling bored with that, or not feeling like doing that in the moment, put it down and then pick up the one that you really feel like doing. And we just keep navigating through this. Everything will be done in the right time when you go through your life from loving yourself. We think that it won't work, but it works even better. It works even way better. We also have morality that's come up. Morality is my religious card of saying that the outside world dictates what spirituality is. The outside world tells you you have to do specific things to be completely in charge of your life. You have to, I don't know, say the Hail Marys 23 times, otherwise, that sort of thing. It's that card of, and it can really bleed into, it's very logical based instead of right hemisphere feminine based, which is navigating the world through picking up the story as we trust ourselves. This is very logical based, as in, I have to dong that gong 3 times, otherwise I'm not going to bring in the right guides for me to understand. I have to brush my teeth 10 times, that sort of thing. Otherwise, someone's going to see food in my mouth today. Any of that sort of stuff is this card of morality, like trying to control spirituality. Spirituality is navigating the world through love of self, and is a very open, flowing, gentle, caring, receptive energy. And it doesn't navigate through the logical compartmentalization. It doesn't have a set pattern to it other than how you feel, and how you feel in every moment shifts. So to take back our power of our feminine side, we need to honor and respect that, and drop the morality of trying to do everything exactly as it should be. Like I've never followed traditions. I've never followed anything, actually. I've always gone through my life feeling, I feel like this now. Sometimes I'll do something for a while exactly the same, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. But as soon as I feel like enough is enough, or I feel like I'm reliant on it, I will drop it, because I don't feel, my feminine side doesn't want to be reliant on, or my soul doesn't need to be reliant on something outside of myself for it to feel good. And that's the true nature of spirituality. It's very open, and it's very giving, and it's very receptive, and it's very malleable. And that gives us a way more way bigger platform to play in, a bigger playground to play in. And yeah, so this is the whole learning of the feminine side, which we haven't really touched on, other than going through the compartmentalization of the logical mind, trying to fixate on something to bring it into a religious sort of connotation of, that person did that, so it worked for him, so it has to work for me. They told me that it worked for him. Even what I'm saying, I want you to go through your own feelings and your feeling base and say, is this resonating? And if it's not, then just drop it, just leave it, and then say, this is where I am, and this is what makes me feel good. And so do that. And even if it is doing a practice that you really wanted to do, keep doing it, but just be open to the fact that you don't want it to be the be all. Otherwise, it can actually prevent you or stop you from having a bigger playground. They're reminding me of when I went for a walk through a forest at nighttime with a beautiful man who was all into crystals and putting crystals on the ground and doing what he called his work. And that's absolutely beautiful. It's fine, whatever. We're all here doing our own thing. I don't judge anything. That was the time when all of these fireflies lit our path for like half an hour. It was so amazing. They weren't any fireflies anywhere else. They were just around us, like they were lighting our way on this path. It was so beautiful, and he's never had an experience like that. But I told him before we went into the forest, watch out, something really interesting might happen, because interesting things do happen around me. And he's like, oh my God, never experienced fireflies like following us for half an hour. But we got to a certain point, and I'm like absolutely, high vibing it, like in my element, going, oh my God, and they're like flying up, to my finger, and oh my God, how beautiful were they? And then all of a sudden he got this pull of logical mind coming in, the morality of himself coming in, of he just yells out on the path, stop. And I'm like, what? And I turned around. I thought, oh my God, maybe, he's hurt himself or something. I turn around and he's like, I'm supposed to be doing my work, and all of the fireflies just went gone, and we were left in the dark. And I'm like, wow, the energy just dropped dramatically, because he went there specifically to do his work, to do what he'd done every other time. And he suddenly forgot about it, and then he remembered, and then the energy just fell. So the playground that we were in was limited to only him doing what he was used to doing. And that's a logical mind-based practice, constantly wanting to do the same thing because it feels safe in what it used to do. And I think that's what they're trying to bring in this reading, is to show us how to shift our life into a more expansive playground by allowing things to be fluid, and not, going with the moment, going with what's happening and really delighting in it. And if it's making you feel happy, then keep going. But maybe not try to control it so much. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. See what else comes up here. So we have consciousness. And this is us taking hold of our mind and going, I am master of my mind. I am the master. I am the Buddha. I am the one that allows my mind that I pull my mind into what I really want to create. Every single one of us has negative thoughts, that we all have to navigate through those negative patterns, especially because our environment has been teaching us to focus on it that way. And so every single one of us has these negative thoughts coming in, but the ones that are so-called more positive or working towards their goals a lot easier or whatever, they choose to not feed those thoughts that aren't working for them. And it's not really negative and positive, because one person could have one thought exactly the same as another person over here could have the same thought. For this person, it's not kosher for their soul. For this person, it is. So that's why it's hard for me to even bring it into terms of negative and positive, because it's just stories that feel right for your soul. So the stories that feel right for your soul is you mastering your own consciousness and saying, that story doesn't feel right. It makes me anxious. It makes me depressed. I feel tense. I need to let it go. And I'm going to bring in another story through my imagination. I'm going to feed my imagination with that beautiful story, even though I haven't seen it on my outside yet, even though I can, my logical mind will say, well, how the heck is that going to happen? Just go, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to keep on using my imagination, master my mind, master my where my next step is going. And then the next morning, you might all of a sudden have this inspiration to do something that's moving you towards the better side, the better story that your soul really, really wants. But if you were constantly focused on that negative story happening, you will wake up and go, I've got to overprotect myself and make sure, and oh my gosh, and then that person comes into your life and you say what you're supposed to say, but all you've done is fed into the story that you didn't want to begin with. Holy crap. Okay, I didn't realize the time. Wow, I've really, really been chatting today, right? Heaps. Yes, so don't forget on Thursday too, I have a million new messages coming through at the moment, and I want to share them with you. I'm going to do an animal card, so that means that anyone on the chat bar, if you want to have a reading, just say yes please, or yes whatever part, and we'll see where that goes. So one's just jumped out at me here from the animal cards. Let's see if there's anything more. One more. So we have the giraffe visionary. Beautiful. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. Oh my gosh, exactly what we were just talking about, right? You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Every single thing that I just said has just jumped out of this card. And the one that followed it was the bison. I don't think I've ever had the bison before. Bison. Oh, this is nice. abundance, sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life, fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. So beautiful. And interesting, I actually just, I'm not religious at all, but the other day, I think it was yesterday, I was just sitting outside and or the day before, and I just had this information come through. I was looking at one of my I have a little candle Buddha thing, and he's sitting there as a prayer person, and it was like boom, 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 all this information from the Cyanians come in about why humanity brings their hands together in prayer. And I've never prayed. So it was really interesting because now I can see and understand the physical reasons why we do this movement. And so I put it up on my website anyway, if you want to have a look at that. It's in my blogs. So yes, okay, let's get into free chat bar readings, right? Just thinking, which one I'll use these ones. Okay, Black Diamond. Start with you. He was first up. They were first up this morning. And yep, okay, take. I was like, well, they just jumped out too quick, but they said take them. So there's been some letting go of some worry, which is good. I think you're working on your mind a lot better. Look at this. We have 3 cards that actually fell out for you straight away. We have the 9 of Swords, and 9 of Swords, it's in reverse, which is quite a good sign, because in uprights, it's like you're waking up in the middle of the night and worrying about things. But I think this is meaning that you're finally starting to go, okay, I'm not going to do that story anymore. I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night and worry and feel anxious. I want to see the sun. I want to see more positivity. I want to step into my vulnerable side of myself a little bit more and have trust in this. But just be a bit careful. There is something that you might be. If I feel into you, it's like there's something that you've been focusing on that wasn't so good, and you're like, I can't seem to clear it. I still seem to be focusing in on those 3 broken cups here and not seeing the 2 behind me. And they actually said, oh, okay, I was going to say something from when you were a child because of the sun card with the child on it, that you haven't cleared, but they're actually telling me past life. So when it's something to do with a past life thing that you need to clear, or a DNA thing that's within you that you need to clear, then the best way to do it, doesn't matter what story develops, feel into the feeling and then ask, and then allow your imagination to imagine a story. It doesn't matter what the story is, doesn't even matter if it's the truth or not, but use your imagination to go back into your past lives to imagine a story, because you're wanting your logical brain to have a comprehension of what's happened in the past, but you want to use that to navigate through. So in other words, if you had a story of, I don't know, somebody being mean to you in a past life, like say you were in a war zone or something and they, kind of stabbed you and, you died, and then they're in your life again this life and you're trying to navigate through that. But you don't know why or where that's actually that feeling's coming from, then you can go back, imagine the story. Okay, I was in a battle. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, because we want to get to the feeling. When we get to the feeling of, okay, that felt that way, but if I see it from a place of the life before that, I actually killed them. Okay, well, we're actually doing it to each other. I've got to let this go. If I let it go, they let it go, sort of thing. There's something there that needs to be shifted from past, way back, because the sun, the positive side, there's something really powerful coming through from these stories that are developing, these stories that you're learning to navigate through, that's actually going to gift you more, a way better outcome in this life than what you ever have in any other life, because this is the life that you have chosen to let it all go. Okay, so I'll leave it there, otherwise I'll just get into a really big reading, right? Oh, great. I'm glad you understand. Okay, so it's a good time for you to, yeah, anyway, otherwise I'll keep going. Okay. And let's get into a reading for, small reading for Christina. That's Christina G. Don't forget, I do one-on-one readings as well. The link's below. Christina G. Okay, we have the Tower in reverse. So you're literally deciding to jump off. Okay, Tower in reverse. To me, the Tower in reverse is sorry, I'm just feeling into you a little bit more. I was going to say one thing, but now I'm starting to feel another. So there could be two, a feeling of feeling stuck, but a feeling of jumping, just going, you know what, I'm just going to freaking jump. I'm sick of feeling stuck. And the tower card, when it comes up right, means that the outside universe starts to shake up your reality. It breaks away from you, it falls away, and then you're left with, you have to jump, you have to move, you have to go towards something else, you have to let go of a lot of things. In reverse, it's like, I'm stuck. Okay, that's it. I'm just going to jump. Because you want to come into becoming the emperor of your life. You want to be the one in control of what's happening. I see. Be very aware of this because sometimes when we force the jump, or we're impatient and we go, I'm going to jump, I'm just going to do it. When we jump, we're not in the right, if we jump and we're not in the right frequency of the momentum happening towards the outcome that we really truly desire, we still haven't shifted the shadow, some parts of ourselves that there's still angst about. We're just going to ignore it and just jump. We take it with us and then we end up getting so-called gift coming our way that isn't resonating, that ends up being a fake gift, a fake something that isn't what you're after. You're after becoming the emperor. And sometimes I'm afraid we have to be patient and allow the rest of the world to catch up to our energy. So maybe it is better not to jump, but to just go, well, I know this is really hard for me to keep, being patient. I've been so patient all my life, but I'm just going to allow it to stay still and allow it to happen, because they're giving you a little bit of a sense that you could end up manifesting something that's still aligned with the thing that you're wanting to clear. And yeah, I don't know if that's going to, anyway, I hope that helps you a little bit. Okay. Oh, thanks, Yannicka. That's such a beautiful thing to say. I love you, Bobbie. You're a wonderful person. Thank you for all you do for us. So nice. I love all you guys too. It's just, I am blessed anyway and lucky just to, I just love being me. Honestly, I'm just being me. I just want everyone else to be themselves, so we can start this new world. Okay, Sarah Brinkoff. I hope I pronounced that right. With a beautiful butterfly. Okay, so we have two cards that's fallen out for you. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So finally you're putting down all of those, oh my God, I've done all the hard work and I'm just, you know what, I just need to let it go. Chalice is in reverse as well. So I think that there's been some work within the family dynamics that you're ready finally to go, I don't need to carry all those burdens anymore. Don't need to carry everybody else's issues on my back anymore. I've done, it's almost like a feeling of you're starting to realize I've done enough work. I've done enough holding up everybody else's stuff. And so now I'm going to come back to me. And it's really cool because when we finally get this and we do come back to ourselves and just go, what do I really love? All your family members want to see is you being happy. So when they see you being more happy, they start to become more happy and lighter in themselves. And they're starting to realize that you're trusting them to be able to pick up their own game. And so you don't have to, you can be you, more authentically you, bringing in more of who you are. And I like that. It's a really nice place to move into. Definitely, I've tried it and it works in a good way. Okay, Joe, there's, you're coming up to a massive ending. It's 10 of Swords. It looks terrible, doesn't it? But always 10 of Swords means that new beginnings coming up, but also almost like you're sick of all these, something keeping at you, not really working, or just keep like, just over it. And it's almost like that feistiness of yourself going, I'm over it, is telling your universe, telling your physical world, enough already. I'm standing up and I'm just going to let everything fall as it falls and move towards. I'm just going to do this. There's something new coming in your way, and it's interesting. Something new coming towards you because of that. Okay. Yes, sigh of relief, Sarah. Yeah. Nice. Oh, you're going to find so much change now that you've started to let go of that. Yeah. Alex. Alex has the Empress card. So the Empress, it came out on its side. Oh, it's the Empress card to me is a valuable card of understanding your intuitive side. Like you're sitting, you don't even need to worry about, it's kind of like, I'm just going to read more into this. Hang on. Okay, so that timing, like this sounds funny, but because I'm not religious, weird how they sometimes use religious things in my mind, but the gates of heavens are open. And that because there's a vulnerability of you understanding the power of your feminine side, navigating your life and using your imagination to carve a new path is literally opening the gates of heaven for you. But also the Empress knows that the Emperor is valuable as well. The Empress knows that the logical mind has absolute value in bringing and grounding things into this reality. She wants to ground heaven on earth. She wants to bring something in on earth. There might be something in your reality at the moment where you're like, oh my God, I'm starting to understand that if I ground this very unusual, unique part of myself, it's going to open something new coming in. I'm feeling a little bit wishy-washy about that, like almost like you might not even understand this yet, but there's something coming in that was stagnant before and now will be revealed. I'm literally channeling through because it's like the card's not explaining enough and it's only one card. But anyway, that's how it goes on these small ones. Also, okay, so I have an idea too, which I might do, and they're bringing it up. I have this beautiful, I'll do a couple more free ones, but I have this beautiful little pendulum. Sorry, my logical brain's not with it. I'm going to do a yes/no question for everybody. So I will tell you what the answer is. And so just think up a question and I'll do a pendulum for you before the end of this reading. So let's do one for a free card for who else is here that said yes. Okay, sorry. Monica. Is it Monica or Mona? Mona. Mona, you have the Four of Pentacles on its side. There might be something that you're holding dearly to yourself that says, if I don't make sure that this is safe and make sure that I hold this, keep this held, then it's then I'll lose it. And it's in trying to keep something in your reality that you're actually causing yourself stress, because holding on to something really tight makes you tight, makes your body tight, makes you feel and so your body can only hold tightness in itself for so long before it starts to become sick. So sometimes the Four of Pentacles is asking us to just let it go and let it be. There's two other cards that came out that fell on upside down, and Nine of Pentacles. See what wants to come through. This person's holding on to Three Pentacles while he's got the thought of one pentacle in his head, and he's like, if I hold on to these three and I have this thought, then it's all going to be fine. But when he actually lets go of all of that, or you let go of all of this, you're going to bring in Nine Pentacles, right? Way more. And it was the Magician in reverse as well, which means that the monkey mind is taking over your thoughts, because you are the magician. You are creating and carving your own path. But because it's in reverse, this monkey that's tugging on his cape is in control. And so just be aware of where your mind is going. Sometimes we have to go, I can't fix this. I can't do this anymore. And let it go to allow something new coming in. And more is going to come in because you've got the Nine of Pentacles. That's a really good card to come in. Okay, I will do like I'll do a yes/no question. So if you guys hold a yes/no question in your head, you don't have to write it down. You can write it down if you want, absolutely. And let everyone else know. And then I will say to you whether it is a yes or a no. And I want to do this right. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to wobble around too much, is I'm going to put my arm here, and I want you guys to be able to see it. So what happens is, if it goes round in a circle, it's a yes. If it goes from side to side, it's no. And I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see that. So I'm just going to hold like the answers to these questions that everyone's asking. Please give me the correct yes or no. Well, that's an absolute no. So that's just going side to side, side to side, side to side. It's not going in a circle, which is be a yes. So, yeah, it's a no. So we'll see if that helps you guys, so that it gives the ones that miss out at least a yes, no. And I love you and leave you here. Thank you so much for being part of my team. And thank you again and again to Honey Golden for sharing my video out. It reached nearly 1,000 people, and I got heaps more subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody for sharing, liking, subscribing. It helps my channel as everybody else's channel. And I keep forgetting to say it. So love you guys heaps until Thursday. And on Thursday, I will just be channeling. Okay. So if you do have a question for higher guidance about our ascension and where we're going and all of that, write it down and put it in the chat bar. And I'll see if my guides will bring up the answer, because I do like questions. Okay. Love you guys heaps. Bye.